What's up, and welcome to Drunken Gamer Episode 7, where we go over recent happenings in the video game industry. I'm your host Mike, and this is going to be a bit of a special episode today, as we have a lot to talk about. And for drinks this week, to celebrate this occasion, I'm having some Sam Adams. This brand, Sam Adams, has like a million different kinds of flavors. This one is Latitude 48 IPA. It's like, the problem I tend to have with IPAs is that they tend to be overboard on how heavy the taste is with all the hops and whatnot, but this isn't really that bad. It's got the heavy taste, but it's not as overwhelming as some other kinds of flavors that they have. Thumbs up. Alright. Anyway, like I was saying, we've got a lot to talk about here, so let's get right to it. Earlier this week, Sony made the big reveal for their next-gen console, the PlayStation 4. Gamers may know that Sony has been struggling to help keep the PS3 meaningful since day one, what with botched launch games, lack of worthwhile exclusives, and advertisements with creepy crying baby dolls designed to give you nightmares. But there is hope yet! Sony is working to make sure that the PS4 doesn't fall under the same problems that had befallen its predecessor, and that first starts with the controller. Are we going to see a new design that makes new advances in available tech? Or will we see Sony just doing their usual copying of what everyone else has done? The answer... both? Well, let's look at what this thing is touting first. We got concave joysticks, the same D-pad that we've had since the PS1 era, headphone jack, generally stuff that we're already pretty comfortable with in previous iterations. But wait! What's this? A humongous fucking light bar on the controller that tells you which player you are? That certainly doesn't sound like a waste of energy. And it tells you you're close to dying in your game you're playing. Well, what do we need health bars for when we can take our eyes off what's going to potentially kill us to look at a confusing light bulb that's not even in plain sight? And we got a touchscreen on the face of the controller as well, which doesn't look completely tacked on at the last minute at all. So, yeah, it just looks like Sony's usual trick of just pulling other things that people have already got figured out and then giving it a new coat of paint and then calling it innovative. Really, Sony has been doing this kind of stuff for years, so it's not really surprising at this point. After all, the saying goes, good artists borrow, great artists steal. Although, there is one surprisingly original aspect the controller has, that is the share button, which allows you to upload screenshots of video footage of you playing your games to the PlayStation Network and show them off to your friends. Of course, this would be original if Nintendo didn't already beat them to the punch with their own screenshot functionality on the Wii U. I suppose the one advantage the PS4 controller does have is that you can use that same button to actually stream your gaming footage live with the Ustream service that Sony has for the platform, which allows you to broadcast your playing to anyone that's willing to watch some random schmuck getting his ass handed to him. Such features would probably help those who already have some semblance of internet fame, but for the average Joe, it's probably not exactly a gate to gaming stardom unless you do something very creative with it. As for the PS4 console itself, it was surprisingly a no-show for whatever reason, leaving us to wait until E3 to actually get a glimpse of the stupid thing. However, that didn't stop Sony from promoting its processing power and its ability to bring super realistic graphics, providing not only tech demos using the Unreal Engine 4 and the same Square Enix tech demo we saw last fucking year, but also renders a very creepy old man with eyes that would take your soul. Make it stop! For the love of fuck, make it stop! And of course, what console conference would be complete without the usual prattling of social networking, giving users new ways to completely annoy the fuck out of their friends on the Facebooks. But what if you're having troubles with a specific part of a game and need a bit of help? Or you just feel like being a lazy shit? Well, you can bug one of your friends to be nice and play the fucking game for you! Really, how lazy or bad at video games do you have to be to warrant using something like that on a regular basis? But enough about social networking and other features that actual gamers will likely rarely use. Let's get to the fucking games. Sony, what have you got for us?
You are not and control.
So, what you're saying is, you ain't got shit, right? Because, okay, Sony, you can try to fool us with pre-rendered game footage that makes it look like someone is actually playing the game, but we want to see some actual fucking game. We want to see an actual human being playing an actual fucking game that's actually in fucking production, not just some pre-rendered bullshit. I mean, sure, Killzone Shadowfall looks great, but considering the fact that it doesn't even look that interesting from a gameplay standpoint, kind of leaves a bad feeling in my mouth. Not exactly the same kind of feeling that an overly hoppy IPA beer does, but just worse than that. And Drive Club? Terrific. We got another racing game that looks exactly the same as every other racing game released over the past 10 years. There's also an apparent spin-off from Infamous called Second Son, where we apparently see other people randomly gaining superpowers. And Capcom's apparent new IP, Deep Down, is going to be a PS4 title. Of course, the footage for that, again, uses the same pre-rendered attempt to pass the footage off as actual gameplay as the other trailers. Pro tip, just because you use Adobe Premiere to patch in an extremely small semblance of a game HUD doesn't magically make it actual gameplay footage. So, what other publishers do we have on the ball with this thing? We know Square Enix is on board, but apparently they don't have anything special planned besides that dumb tech demo. Unless...
I am the brand director for Final Fantasy at Square Enix.
A new Final Fantasy?! Could it be that SE has finally realized that no one wants to play any more fucking 13? That we want to actually move away from MMO titles that aren't remakes of Final Fantasy XI? That we want to play a Final Fantasy that's actually not some pseudo sci-fi bullshit? Maybe it's news regarding Versus, which has been stuck in development hell and is slated to be the next Duke Nukem Forever. What have you got for us?
Please be excited for E3 this year.
Wait, really? You're fucking kidding me, right?
You're Teutonic twat.
Okay, I get you. So we gotta wait for E3 for anything really worthwhile. Alright, I understand this. Alright, Sony, moving on. What else do you fucking got for us?
Good evening.
Holy fuck! Blizzard? Could it be? Has Blizzard finally come back to consoles? Maybe with a new Lost Vikings game? Is it really true, Chris Metzen? Please tell us it's true!
Thank you.
Okay, so kind of a mixed bag with this one. Okay, this is really something that probably should have seen coming, considering the fact that Blizzard has been experimenting with bringing Diablo 3 to consoles for pretty much the better part of the year. So they've been messing with ways to alter the experience for controllers rather than using the mouse and keyboard. And apparently they've found the magic formula that they need, saying that they're going to be there at PAX East showing how it works. I mean, hell, even the interface for the original game gave away that they were planning for a console version. I mean, sure, Diablo 3 is fun and all, but really, you're making a console release of a year-old game seem like that big of a deal. I mean, I don't know, maybe being able to watch streams of someone screwing themselves over on hardcore mode will be the main draw to some, but at this point, the people that wanted to get Diablo 3 by now probably already have it. All 6 million of them. Granted, probably a third of them will probably get the PS3/PS4 version just to see the differences, but when you already have the best-selling PC game in history, porting it to consoles just seems like redundant and a step backwards at that point. Because really, how can you really improve on your sales that much? Especially when you have a legal, real money auction house that you get a portion of money from every sale made on it. I mean, how can you improve your profits on that? So, yeah. PlayStation 4. Some good points, namely the console's ability to give good eye candy, and a lot of questionable points like the glowing bar thinger, and still no actual games for launch as of this point in time. And it's set to be released this coming holiday season. Only other thing I'm gonna say regarding this whole thing is that Sony's presentation at E3 better blow my goddamn socks off. Especially after they forced everyone to sit through 15 minutes of Wonderbook fuck-ups last year. Anyway, that's gonna be doing it for this episode. Yeah, one topic, but it was a beefy one. It was an important one. So I really hope you enjoyed the show. Stay tuned for more news episodes, more trailers, and we'll be covering more information on the PS4 as it comes out. Also, I'll hit like our Facebook page to stay tuned with updates regarding videos, more trailers, and all that other social networking fun stuff things. Yeah. Alright. Once again, this is the Drunken Gamer, and we'll see you next time.